And welcome back to Bob Is You.
Baba is Jonas.
It's not me. No.
Baba is Game Cobra.
Yes.
Ah,
Better.
he's green kitty.
Well, he has been green on.
Yeah,
on
he has been green. So when
Yeah.
Baba is green, he is Game Cobra.
Yeah.
It is a metaphysical truth.
Okay, what are we doing?
Okay.
here?
Let me get some nice chip tunes going because that just feels like the right kind of music for this game.
Is level oddity 5 safety vest.
See, if it were up to me,
We
I'd
have
be
save.
having some Sonic Adventure 2 music.
I can see that, sure.
Just some great Sonic ska.
Texas float can break Texas float.
Texas toast.
Make something else float.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, what am I supposed to do? Flag is win, so I can just
What is
break
Flag is push.
Yeah, I can just break push. Baba on flag is wall. That's a problem.
Are you serious?
That's what it
That's
says
funny.
right there. Baba on flag is wall.
No, so it does. Flag is wind. Water is water.
So what? I need to make
Is
something
safe.
else me? I need to
You
make
know,
Baba safe. If
Mike,
Baba is
if I-
safe, will he transform into wall?
Hold on, let me look up the property. Is you.
I mean, figuring that out is part of the fun, isn't it? Let's
Mike,
go over here and see. Baba is safe.
Is he like
Nope,
Wolverine
that
now?
does not actually protect against transforming into wall. I was pretty sure that was the case.
Safe as a
Okay,
property.
well, hold on. If you say Baba is safe, what happens if you walk into the water?
He can't be destroyed. It can't be destroyed. Baba cannot be destroyed if Baba is safe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
So if I
familiar with the
say-
safe word.
I say Baba is safe. Nothing can actually destroy him, but he can still transform.
Is he gonna go Mecha Godzilla on us now?
That stop seems to stand out to me.
Frederick, yes, it does take a while for consoles because Nintendo actually has to approve of every patch, so it can take like weeks. So,
Yeah.
when they make patches for this, they usually wait until they have everything they need and then push it.
Yeah.
This is why content delivery for the longest time was in, like, major updates. And not until, like, Steam, when you had actual distributed stuff that people were like, oh, I can just push micro updates.
Makes sense.
One of the reasons why I go for PC, honestly, I am patient. Some of these updates can take like a year or two, sometimes even 4 years.
I'll probably default to PC
Sure.
for most. Go ahead.
Yeah, for the content updates, yes, GC, but not the review process. The review process does not take years.
Yeah.
You also
Here's, like,
have water as sink over here that you could break instead of just destroying all the water. I don't know what the point is because I still have no ideas of how to do something other than Baba on flag as wall.
Let me unblock this.
Let's see.
Water is water, so that has me think that you're supposed to use water is for something else.
Oh, and only Vamp.
Let's see. There's Win is sort of accessible down there, except there's this stop right here. So,
Oh, that's true. Stop is not being used.
There free is any? No, there really isn't. Oh wait, there is. There's water is sink. So I'm thinking. I mean, just fight against like.
text is float, text is not float. But we can also take float.
Also, Brony Vamp subscribed with Prime for 13 months, currently on a 12-month streak.
Thank you, Brownie Vamp.
Oh, thank you so much.
Brony's a bro.
Brony is indeed a bro and a vamp.
Yeah, we also have this safe.
Flag is safe.
The
Is there
water
any-
is safe. But
No, nothing
that's just
but
because
water.
water is in sync. So if water is sync and safe at the same time.
Aw.
um,
So if water is safe, everybody is Jesus.
Is there an and anywhere? No.
No, there isn't.
Hmm.
We also have level.
Right.
Yeah.
Water is level.
What did we say? Level.
So you can't remove. You can't really.
Is safe.
Now nothing can destroy the level.
Yeah.
Can't really do anything with the is that's below text.
Right.
As like removing it from that top line. But I do notice that you could put a thing to the left and right of it, so I'm wondering if there's
Yeah.
something there.
I'm still not able to conceptualize what the end of this is supposed to look like. I need to... Baba on flag is wall, but I don't see any way to make something else U. Because Baba is U is right here. It is accessible from right here, but there doesn't look like there's anything you can do with it, unless we can alter text somehow. We can make text sync.
I wonder if that save thing is red herring.
Can we do text
See-
mirror?
See, if I like
is-
said text is sync, and I could walk into like Baba right here, but then is U doesn't have anything, and I wouldn't be able to push it out.
Right.
Well, can we do text near blank is sync?
Text near. Like what?
Text near level?
Okay, but sync only works on contact anyway, so
Hmm.
I'm not sure that would be useful.
There's a lot of variables in here.
We have water here. Water is push. We could push water somewhere.
Treat it like a block.
Yeah. And if text is float, you can technically push the water underneath the text.
Right.
If you can push water.
Well, that's cute.
Can you push it under if text is float? I don't know. No, you can't.
Hmm.
Womp womp.
Float is such a weird thing to me because it only protects you against some interactions, but it doesn't like cause an underlapping like you would think it would.
Right. Data unflag is wall. Data unflag is wall. That is immutable.
Eh.
Text is all float. You can ground text. Yeah. Let's see. There's nothing you can do to change Bob on Flagger's wall.
Text is text, so that's not gonna work. You know, it's not gonna do anything. I'm pretty sure that might crash the game or something. I don't know.
Crash Baba? Impossible.
Save.
No,
Oh,
Hello, total new
There
player.
are multiple ways to crash Baba.
there are a lot of ways to crash Baba.
Yeah,
Some
just
of
get a
them
car.
some of them the game catches, and some of them it doesn't. Sometimes it literally just kicks you back out to the OS.
Baba is safe.
Probably.
Which I have to imagine that's probably the one. If anything were to take a long time in console validation, it would be that. To make sure people can't do some weird ACE with the level creation, like crashing in a certain way.
AC.
ACE, arbitrary code execution.
Oh.
It means that you literally just have access to write code and execute it however you want. It's a thing that happens on a couple consoles. There's ways to do it in Ocarina of Time on the original Nintendo 64.
What was Ocarina coded in? Actually, I can just find out, can't I?
Assembly, probably.
Yeah. If anything,
C.
it would have been like R.
No, it's coded in C.
See?
Okay.
Apparently, people are struggling to reverse engineer it. There's this massive effort, apparently.
Yeah, because we do have like the source code for Super Mario 64, but not for Ocarina of Time.
How old the game is? I figured it'd be out by or something. Could...
It says, and 64 games are written in C with a different structure, quote unquote. I don't know what that means. Anyway, okay. Flag is wall, flag is win. Wall is stop. Now these can be changed. So what's the deal?
Now reading stuff on Nintendo 64 programming characteristics, and everybody who's ever worked on it said it was horrendously complex.
Doesn't shock.
I don't doubt it.
Hardware development chief Genyo Takeda referred to its programming challenges using the word hansei, or reflective regret.
I would split Nintendo 6 or Mirror 64 was trying to fill some big boots back then, so
Yeah.
Reflective regret. Don't you just call that hindsight? Well, anyway.
Maybe.
considering that Sony back then was really pushing for their PlayStation, but I wonder if Nintendo was really trying to make was in a bit of a panic back then when they're trying to make Mario 64. I don't know.
I mean, it's like all the new Mario games that come out for like a brand new console where they're just like, all right, new hardware. Everyone's got to learn it right now. Get a game out literally the day the console's out.
Yeah, the thing is that the NES and the Super NES are basically based off of the same hardware, which was established in like 1980 or something.
Huh, didn't know that.
And the Nintendo 64 was all new hardware.
You figured that
yeah,
Nintendo.
I'm not surprised it was a nightmare.
They had to
Originally, I would think that too. It's just that over the years, though, Nintendo would be better to manage that kind of thing unless they really actively like their employees to be like this. To be crunch job, new hardware, get to it.
Yeah, well, they had to level up to compete with the 3D market, I guess, and that probably was. There was probably some urgency. They probably realized.
I know what
hey,
to do. I know what to do.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Let's see. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to arrange this because I do not actually have all the pieces.
Kind of curious to see what you got going.
Then we have water. Water.
Water is water near. Oh. Water near flag is.
Yeah, I can't do that. Let's see. I don't know. I can't actually add anything else onto there to get it to Baba. Because my idea was water near flag is Baba. You have water on the flag and it transforms into Baba first. And because it transforms into Baba first, it's not going to transform into wall on that turn.
Nice.
See, is there another way I can do this? Text. We have text up there. And text. Your flag is, but we can't get water, we can't get Baba, we only have like level here. Text near. Text near flag is. You can't transform level into it. I don't know how you would make level as you.
I don't think you can. I mean, no, I don't think you could. There's no way to get around that conjugation without breaking it. Actually, I don't think there's any way to get around that conjugation at all. I think it's pretty much locked in position.
What was this level called again?
Safety vest.
Is that a clue?
Sometimes. Oh, we can change water into level, but we still can't make level U. This.
Right.
All he knows that Baba is safe means that Baba can't be harmed, right?
Yeah,
Killed.
he can't be destroyed.
You know, if you get arm bobbins with the water.
Okay, so I'm looking at a thing and it's got a slightly different version of the level.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, where it would say text is text, you see that. Instead, it says text is text and not you, and then it also says level is level and not you.
Okay.
So there are some things you can kind of throw out, I guess.
Okay, so that's not the intended solution there. That must be on the updated one that just fixes like a loophole there.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that otherwise this one is solvable.
I sure hope so.
Level as you does not make you win. It makes it so that if there are any little level cubes in the level, inside the level, you act as them. Because you can still create level cubes. Sometimes level refers to this level as a whole, sometimes it refers to those little cubes.
I mean, that would move a few, but I don't see how it would actually help you because everything that's significant is blocked in a position that you couldn't move with those little cubes.
What if, sorry. Actually, I thought we had a
water could become flag, can't it?
Sure. I mean, you got water as flag there. You could conjugate that easily.
Let's see. Need water is.
Water is flag?
Now we need to push it into position so that I'm touching it the moment that I finish this.
No, the name safety vest is actually a hint.
But it's not.
But it has nothing to do with the water. It has to do with the word sink.
Hey, right.
Water is water. Can't do anything with that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Water is water is water, water is water is water, water is water.
We don't need no water. Anyway. Well, I mean, okay, so we know what has to do with safe. Safe. Something has to be safe. Something other than. Is it the water? Is the water safe?
Safe.
Water is safe.
I think an alternative title for this could be something like Titanic Survival Guide.
This feels a lot more simple than what I think, but I'm trying to figure out.
Lava is safe and Water is safe and sink. Doesn't do anything.
Titanic survival guide?
Oh. Are we? Yep. Rick, we're still on Jackbox party packs
Are we?
for the game.
Oh, I never noticed.
Chat just brought it up.
Jeez, I usually pay attention to that. Ah!
No, nobody pays attention to
I do. We gotta be
No,
punctual.
nobody checks their email notifications when streams go live. See,
I
only
have-
part of
that.
that
Okay, let
really
me
matters.
restart the stream.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you want to link, I'll send you.
Does that work off like an RSS feed?
I guess. Probably, yeah. I don't know the back end stuff, but
No, I'm good. I don't use Telegram on desktop.
Oh, okay. There's also like
I only have it on my phone so I can talk to furries at conventions.
furries. Gross.
Furries. Do. Furries.
This
Or
is
did
I
you?
dead.
have my phone on my desktop.
Flag is not flag. Just say flag.
Does it even matter what game it says it is? Technically, I think in the Twitch TOS, you're not allowed to be negligent.
All right. What about okay? What about
Alright, you turn the flag into a level.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean,
If
You
I say
have a
level
level-
is flag, it kicks me
That's-
out.
that's
the
being-
level is now a flag.
it's like I know what you're doing. Let's try.
You can't be negligent on Twitch? Ugh.
Let's see. Flag is push. Flag. Oh, I just had another idea.
Tell us, Justin.
Okay, so now text is text is safe. That means if we attempt to sync text, it's still safe, so it won't be destroyed.
Right.
The water is sink. The water. Push. And water is sink. Can we actually cause it to overlap?
Ooh.
Nope, that does not let it overlap anyway.
Nope. So yeah, as Federer is saying in the chat, yeah, the water is a red herring.
Okay.
The water is only there to sort of give you a tiny bit of trouble in getting the first couple words.
All right. Save is important, obviously.
And for the solution I'm looking at here, you need to make sure to keep 2 of your flags.
Oh.
Push is unnecessary. Well, sorry. Push is unnecessary after you figure out where the flags go. Frederick says, really? I didn't need to keep 2 flags. Maybe not.
Yeah, push is unnecessary.
Well, after a point. But Frederick says he could do it without 2 flags, so maybe I'm mistaken.
I still have no concept of how this game is supposed to end then.
Yeah.
I had several ideas and they did not pan out.
Damn. All right.
You must be as Noah, or I guess God during Noah's time, and destroy the world.
Rude.
Hold on. Level is safe.
Level safe, but you are not safe. Actually, I think what's happening is you're sinking when you make levels is sink.
No, the level sank.
Well, yes.
So what happens if you say Bob is safe on the left side before you do that?
Let's see.
I think that still kills you, right? Because then it destroys Boba is safe. No.
It does not kill Baba, but Baba
Baba's
is still here. If we say
So-
text is safe,
I guess
that doesn't save the text.
no. So text is safe doesn't help.
Now I'm curious.
Man, that's
Safe,
really dumb.
safe seems to be arbitrary and what it protects now.
Well, okay, so text is safe doesn't work, but you need like an extra step to it. You need
That
to
destroys the flags too. Why is Baba safe, but not anything else?
I mean, you made Baba's safe.
I wonder if you make the flag safe, does that mean he's immune to ending the stage as the wall? No.
No. So I will say one of the key things is forming the phrase text near blank is blank.
Text near flag is safe? No.
Text
near.
Oh, we have flag or level.
Text near level is.
What if
Text,
flag
all the
is
text
in-
is near level. That doesn't seem like it would change anything. So text is near flag is Safe,
What
float,
if-
or sink.
What if flag is near water?
We really can't do much with water. It's stuck
Yeah.
over there.
It's just it.
Mhm.
Next near flag is
Will Baba become the flag near the wall? Water?
Text near flag is
safe.
safe. And then
Actually, yes, that might work.
Now what happens if you
level
do?
is
What happens if you do level is sink, but like next to the flag?
God.
okay.
We have to preserve the flag somehow.
Level is flag.
Well, I think that kicks them out.
Yeah, level is flag kicks him back out and turns the level into a flag.
Doesn't do anything.
We have to destroy everything but the flag. Everything but the flag and Baba.
Yeah, so we know that safe doesn't really protect from sink.
Yes, it does.
Does-
It frequently protects from sink. It just doesn't protect from level of sink for no reason.
Right.
Right, well what about what if text near flag is float? Since that's like the other one that makes sense.
Text and flag spot. What would that do, though? I mean,
Okay. Now it's floating near the flag. It doesn't do anything.
So now what if we do level is sink?
Okay. Destroys it
So-
again.
oh my God.
You'd think Baba would be safe from level destruction once you tell it that it's safe.
Oh, the level sink has nothing to stand on. Hey. Probably.
What if float is sink? I know it's silly.
Okay, Baba's the day. Very well. I get the crux of this, but I'm
If
definitely
Baba is safe and text near flag is safe, then Baba and the text should be okay. But they're not.
But they're not. Yeah, I'm waiting to see how long it's gonna take Rick before he taps out on this one.
Rex's level needs to be two
Then
things. But
I'm out of stuff there.
got nothing. Level is almost float.
Level's float didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It didn't even cause everything in the level to float.
Is levels water? No. Water doesn't matter.
Yeah, level needs to be two things. There's two things.
Okay, so level is safe, level is sink. Causes everything to sink except Baba because Baba is safe. Then it goes for like
Right.
at the next frame, and then there's no more level is sink. So Baba is still alive.
Okay, I know what it wants me to do. It wants me to push a flag right there. And it wants me to push a flag right there. And then the question is, what arbitrary thing do I need to do to actually make it so that stuff near a flag doesn't get destroyed?
Oh,
You'd think that that would be able to do it.
Nope.
oh.
Because I think
Okay,
float
so
is
if I
more of the
say
word you're
level
looking
is so okay, if I say level is safe at this point, and I say Baba is safe too. The level is safe. And Baba is there. If I say level, your flag is safe and level is sync, Baba is still there.
So I guess text doesn't count as level?
If I just say if level is not safe, then Baba is destroyed. The level needs to be safe. And the level is safe. And level is sync. Say text near flag. Is safe. I need to say level is safe. And then somehow need to say level is sync.
You're very close.
Oh.
You're using the wrong verb here.
I don't see what verb I'm using is wrong. I have reasoned my way through it. Unless it's something like that. I don't know. I can't say level is safe at the same time. If it's float, does that protect it from sync? Why is this a thing?
Don't know.
Wait. How is that preserved? It's floating.
Yeah, it was floating when the sync happened. It was floating and safe when the sync happened. I don't know why.
This doesn't make any sense. This is incredibly unintuitive.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
God.
Yeah, so that's the solution I saw in a YouTube video that also had the updated level is level and not you.
Wes annoyed face.
Yeah.
These other ones was annoyed face. That's annoyed face.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
2 years down. Oh, that's true
Yeah.
anger.
Curious now.
Staring a hole through the game. Okay. Anger surprise.
How many faces are there?
Edric says, I have no idea why safe and sync interacts with itself this way. I don't know. That it's stupid and arbitrary. Okay, key fear Baba. Oh no! Come back!
Is this new?
Yes, this is a new one.
I love it.
You can still guide it. Well, except inside a small space.
Hmm.
I guess. You're Baba.
Baba Fear Key.
You must now deal in fear.
Baba.
We're getting into horror territory
Wait,
now,
we
guys.
have wall there. Wall. Here.
Well, fear Baba. Well, fear Baba.
I dare to see this.
I'm curious to see what happens. You just
Okay.
doubled all.
It does not push any other walls that are in the way.
Right. Well, sphere is limited.
Yeah, it gets routed.
I never thought I'd see a day where the house is scared of you.
Okay. There we go.
That's very silly.
Congratulations.
Also, I'm terrified that fear is in like noun colors. That makes me worry that there's going to be a thing called fear, like a physical thing.
Your fears made real. Door is melt, protected by dudes. Pipe is stop. Kiki is you. Door is stopping. And hot.
Kiki.
Negative.
Yeah, Kiki.
Rock is push. Something is win. I can't see what it is.
Sun is win.
Sun is win. Okay, gotcha.
And there. We need to get through the door.
Door is stop. Hot. You need to
Sun.
pull down that door. Door is melt. I melt that door.
Door is hot. We need to
That's
make door
good.
is melt. Okay, so we need to
Robot is
put the robot over there. Okay, so if we push this down, statue is stop, and bolt is defeat.
Don't want
Okay,
that.
So we can go over here for now.
Right.
We can't go past the statue.
Right. That you can only
Okay,
be.
robot is move, and I think we need to make robot fear rock, because rock is the only other thing that we can push.
Right.
Okay, so if robot is robot robot fear rock.
What about fear rock? We have finally discovered Spot's weakness. Also, wait, I thought robots liked rock. Wasn't that the whole point of Daft
Wait
Punk?
a minute.
I was about to say.
I was expecting you to say
Okay,
something
so
about
robot
Griffin.
fear rock.
Well, Robot is currently living in existential dread as is completely surrounded by the thing it fears.
Yes.
Okay, so
come-
it gets an extra move if it fears something. It steps into that space and it moves away from it immediately.
Right. Okay.
So I think if you put a rock where Kiki is right now, it'll go up.
Yes.
Yep. Huh.
I think you need to set up the rocks in the
Yes.
other room so that you can have the robot
Okay, let's break move. for
navigate around.
Basically, you just have to terrorize the robot.
now. Okay, so robot comes in this way. Well, technically, robot comes in this way. Robot is not push. Okay, so yeah, a rock right here. It comes right here. Goes down. Needs to go this way, so a rock would go right here.
And it looks like it takes exactly 4 moves.
And the statue is not going to be in the way. It needs to turn this way, so a rock needs to be right here. And then one needs to be crammed in there.
Yeah, a rock south of the southern statue and then a rock east of the northern statue.
Nice.
Uh-oh. Don't want to prematurely move the robot.
Yay!
All right.
See, now that's a cool like show off of a word, how you would use a word and how you can make a level around it.
That other one felt like a troll level.
But yeah, that did
Okay.
not feel. Ooh.
Okay, this time you only have 2 rocks. Robot.
Hmm. So-
Here.
I think this is one
It
where
says
you have
robot
to get
is
the robot.
push, not robot is move.
Ah.
So we need to put the robot into position first. But we use the rocks to
Yeah, the
move out of
theory.
the way.
Fearing the rocks is the only automated way it
Okay.
moves now.
So if I push about there, you just need to push a rock right there.
Yeah.
That robot's gonna need some therapy after this.
Quick to the Googles. What is the fear of rocks called?
That's probably like geophobia.
Probably lithophobia.
Petrophobia.
Petrophobia. Yeah, okay.
How do you function if you're afraid of rocks? Your body is made of rocks. Well,
No, it's not.
Well,
Rocks
there's-
are a different object from your body, even if both are made of minerals.
yes.
you can't prove that, Rick.
Yeah.
You're not the guy.
Says
Yeah,
that phobia is often caused by negative experiences involving rocks back in the childhood, like getting hit with a rock.
That makes
I would
sense.
say getting hit with a rock probably does not trigger a fear in you, but I would say getting buried alive in like cobblestones would probably trigger a fear in you, create a
Yeah.
fear.
It could also be a fear of literally your bones getting broken by a rock, which, yeah, I could see that happening when you're a kid.
God, I've never broken a bone in my life. I think
Neither have I.
I mangled my knee at one point, but it didn't work.
Okay. So,
Huh?
flag is
Yeah.
when we need to get through the wall.
Right.
Flag is swap.
Okay.
Okay, so the only thing I can see right here is a rock fear of Baba and rock is swap. Let's see what happens. Hmm.
Well,
People still sign casts. Oh, look at that.
Aha!
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
ha 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 ha.
I
like
always thought
that.
if I ever did break something, I'd have to have like everybody sign my cast, even people I didn't know.
Psychokinesis.
Very good.
Okay.
Fear.
This
Fear
time they
is the
have
mind
covered
killer.
up this, but this is open.
All right. Rockets.
Now we can. Yeah, now we can change what win is.
Fear is you.
Is your Baba.
Oh,
Let's do this differently. Ah. Okay. I have to say, this makes swap significantly more useful. Or at least usable. I don't have to think about Baba's position so much.
God, can you imagine being so afraid of Baba that you literally just move an entire brick wall just to get away from it?
I mean, look at him. He's kind of terrifying, you know? With his eyes and little stubby legs.
Yeah, the most terrifying thing about Baba you don't realize is that Baba doesn't actually have black eyes. You could just see the background through their eye sockets.
It's like Baba creepypasta. Baba's just this,
I was
If
waiting
they
for
were in the
someone
real
to say
world, you
that.
would just see the sky through their skull.
Baba's just this weird Pillsbury Doughboy thing. He never says anything. He just shows up and starts moving objects around and changing the world.
He just tries to start moving around the rules of
Baba
logic.
is an SCP.
Yeah. Baba is the most Baba would definitely be a Keter class SCP,
Like,
just because they
basically,
have the ability to change the laws of reality at will.
containment is pretty much don't have any words near Baba. So like,
Have no written material.
Yeah.
You just have the security guards one day are like watching the camera or something, and they just see Baba like get this like expression on its face, and then it bites one of its paws, and then in its own blood starts writing on the wall, "Baba is win."
no.
Baba is tasty.
And they're like, "No, no, 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 no! If he finishes it, he'll destroy the universe."
World is sink. You find out Baba's like a sadist. Like he learns the names of the staff, and then just like he writes them down. Like Gary is living screaming cheese or something like that. You know, like he just starts like messing with people.
Yeah. Test subject D2309 is I don't know. A toad. Is toad.
To contain Baba, you would have to make sure it has no access to words and it doesn't know where it is or what the facility's called. You'd pretty much have to like blindfold it or something.
Yeah. Can you break wall is stop with the rock? I don't think so. The only way we could get into that top
Yeah, you can't.
section was through the corner, and that rock is rock wall stop doesn't have a corner, so
Yeah, it's just down near the edge. It'll just do that.
If you wanted to do a proper SCP of Baba, it wouldn't be Baba itself. It would be a computer running Baba, and for some reason, that particular instance.
No, let's not do that. Mallow is enough.
Fine.
Every single person wants to make like a computer virus SCP now that like does something in the real world, and it's just like,
Well, that's the sector of the information age, you know.
Totally unoriginal.
Who else my creativity?
I want the computer virus that
Okay.
made.
I can push the rock right here, but I don't have a way of getting it back out. Unless the wall down here was somehow moved out of the way, which I don't think I can do.
There's a computer virus that the CIA made that targeted a very specific set of nuclear refinery equipment, and it made it so Iran was delayed in being able to create like nuclear fuel for reactors and power supply and stuff. And all it did is it just made a very specific centrifuge run like 10% faster than it should.
Wait, Miller, did you say nuclear?
Nuclear?
Mm.
Nuclear?
Nuclear?
Nuclear.
Nuclear. Sound
Nuclear.
like a nuclears. I shouldn't make fun of you. I don't talk.
Check out Toby Fox's third game series, Noodle Alert.
I'm sure it's
swap.
Here is a swap killer. Wait,
There we go. Okay.
nice.
oh, Rocket's one.
Oh.
Haunted Spa.
It didn't just affect one centrifuge, it affected all of them. My understanding is it affected one model of centrifuge. And it just happened to be that Iran was like the only place that was still using that model.
Okay.
You know, we were all freaked out over Y2. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people were freaked out over Y2K. And, like, there was, like, not much happened. I think a few computers, like, crashed, but there were all these predictions about, like, oh, yeah, it's gonna set society back to the Middle Ages or whatever.
I think I need ghosts. I don't know. Have it crammed up there. How would I get inside otherwise?
Yeah, whatever, Ray. No, it was fine. Just gonna live in ignorance. Yep.
Yeah, so one of the things about the centrifuge virus is that basically every computer is infected with it. It's like so it's whenever a computer connects a USB, it either, if it already has a virus, it puts that virus onto the USB, or if the USB has the virus on it, it downloads it onto the computer. So that's how they got the virus actually into the computers, is it was just, they went to like every public computer they could in Iran, put the virus on those computers, and then anytime a USB was plugged in, it would share it. And just because of how USBs are used, it has propagated to like the entire world. But it doesn't do anything except for that very specific centrifuge software.
Funny. That reminds me of the have you ever heard of the Phoenix virus?
The flames off of a plane's wing when it's in really high altitude?
No, the Phoenix virus. Never mind.
Oh, Phoenix virus. No, I've not.
It's not a computer virus. It's a biological virus. But like, basically, there's this thing called human endogenous retroviruses, which are like viruses that crept into humanity like millions of years ago, and slightly rewrote our genetic code. We've got like multiple junk copies of it in our genome, all of us, every single one of us. And scientists like they were like it was kind of like there was enough that we could reconstruct. It's not active in any of us, but there are enough segments in everybody that like scientists are actually able to like in France they're able to reconstruct it.
Oh, so it's the death equation from Marvel Comics or whatever.
You mean the anti-life equation? Something like that.
Yes.
Apparently, it wasn't very lethal. I mean, it wasn't like it weakly infected some cells that some cell cultures that they provided, but it wasn't like apocalyptic or anything. It was just this thing that like wormed its way into every single one of us. Like we're all quote unquote part virus.
I mean, yes, we all have mitochondria.
Well, not exactly the same. Mitochondria are active. Those are probably like ancient symbiotes, like endosymbiotes. This was more like
There's some. I remember seeing there was some part of the cell that was just a virus that just joined along in evolution's path in most eukaryotes.
Well, that's what Parasite Eve was basically based off of.
I don't know about a virus forming eukaryotes. I've seen theories that like I can't get started. I've seen theories that like it's bacteriums became the basis for eukaryotes, but see, I'm getting this itch to Google it and I don't want to. I'm fighting the urge for once because I don't want to get down another Wikipedia rabbit hole.
Oh, how could you? Don't give into it.
Come, there's not much time. Down the rabbit hole we must go, Alice. Ray, I have a theory that remembering that cringy thing you did 10 years ago is actually a virus, but I'm still waiting on research grant money.
That's it. Okay, so here it is. 8% of our genome is composed of sequences with viral origin, namely the human endogenous retroviruses. So we're all 8% virus, sort of.
Oh, viruses.
Give it one space, though.
It's entirely
They
possible
make
that
rock push again.
these viral sequences have influenced and strengthened our immune systems.
Bang, 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 bang.
Okay.
Anyway.
I need to
Getting back to Baba.
destroy the rock somehow.
Okay, you make rock not safe?
Edric said the puzzle was about preventing rock to stop. Okay. But I can't get to the flag right now. Okay.
Well, wait, can't you just break Rock's push and then you just walk over the rock?
Okay.
That was it.
Nice.
Fly route. Oh boy, it's another one of these automation things. Robot on tile make bolt. Robot on UFO is pipe. Bolt is defeat and push and fall up. UFO is defeat, pipe is stop.
In this great summer picture, it is the cogs versus the UFOs. Will our intrepid hero be able to make it to his starship in time to defeat both sides? Catch it this time, Saturday at 9 p.m.
Wait. So, okay, bolt, robot on tile, make bolt. Bolt's defeat and push and fall up. UFO's defeat. Pipe is stop. My God, this is getting way too complicated.
I don't know what the purpose of making a bolt is.
Bolt falls up.
Yes, bolt falls
Bolt is
up.
defeat and push.
Oh, if it's push and fall up, then I need to push a bolt into there.
Right.
Okay. So, let's see. Robot is going to walk up and create a bolt on this tile.
But you can't touch that
Is
bolt.
going to immediately fall that way.
Right.
But,
Belt to shift, you gotta move it.
the robot's going to get in the way is a problem.
Hmm.
Robot needs to, like, move down on this tile or to have the bolt properly fall that way. Unless I can just, like, break robot is moving, it'll fall out the rest of the way. So let's see. Robot can't touch the UFO because it becomes pipe. Okay, so there needs to be some way other way to get the robot onto the tile.
Can't do anything to the cogs.
Let's see. We have cog right here.
Hmm.
So the cogs are useful, and we have fear.
Fear is also useful.
Okay, so need to
Fear is useful.
have robot fear cogs.
If you ever wanted to kill somebody's mind, you can use fear, because fear is the mind killer.
I totally want to kill people's minds. Is that bad?
So
No,
let's see.
I don't want to kill
Robot is
minds.
gonna walk like right here, and we want to have him fear a cog. And we want to. I think we need him to move down. We need to make several bolts. I see how this is because we need to push him into the water to also make them sink.
What happens if it's robot
So
fear?
the robot needs to go in a cycle. That's
Okay.
what's happening here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we just make the robot constantly produce bolts?
Yes.
There you go.
So you're creating like an oscillator?
Something like that.
Okay, the bolt can fall through the cog right there, so the robot's gonna come right here. Gonna go down. Yeah, put it right there to make him go back around because we don't want him to do this too fast.
Right.
And it should do that. Push robot into position.
If you want Baba's virus, you have to like make other things like replicate into Baba.
Okay.
That's not gonna work because the robot is crossing over the southern UFO. And you can't have him touch the UFO.
Alright. Kept thinking that was just me. Okay. Okay, so
I think the cog needs to be. No, you're right. That's right.
that's correct. Okay, I'm gonna push this up here so that I am closer to the conveyor belt. And I do it. Robot is.
No, now when you cross over, push the other one to the left. So push that one to the right. Now push this one to the left.
This is why I didn't want him to be too fast.
Hmm.
I can make it slightly larger so that he goes slower.
You can make it 2 or 4 steps longer, depending on if you can
That should
go
be
all the way
enough.
up to the edge of level.
I can go right there. I can go right there. There we go.
Zon, and our hero has defeated the UFOs and Cogs. Tune in next week for another episode of Kiki Is You.
Anti calls. Baba, for your text.
Problem.
Your text is your
Oh.
ultimate weapon skates radio now.
No!
Okay, well, hold on. Pillar of Fear's text.
Pillar for your text.
Where's the pillar?
Pillar is push.
All right, that jams up the pillars. You have to take advantage of the repulsion somehow.
Let's see. Water is saying text is not push.
Yeah, you can't become afraid of something if you can't be pushed away from it. So you probably have to push a pillar up against one of the words, and then like get in between the text and the pillar,
All right.
and then break the thing.
Bob just basically farts
Text
the
is
text.
not push. I don't know what that does for me right now. Fear is pretty strict. Let's see.
That's weird.
I think fear creates like an extra move turn after.
Yeah, you're pushing stuff when you get feared.
Like that.
Interesting.
So let's see. Flag is win, but there's no flag here. Gonna need to make like
Texas win. Or
gonna need to make Baba is win, but we need to like change this to text fear Baba. Question is, how do we interact with it?
for text.
The text is not push. I'm not sure how that helps because we kind of need it to be push. Frederick says, Baba for your text, and Baba has to write a really important email and keeps procrastinating on it.
Baba's mode.
He is a bougie.
Because you say, text for your Baba, do something, pull out is win. Can't access pillar at all.
No, it's the anthem of every lame straight white guy. Pull out his win.
This is just gonna get it back.
Now wait, hold on. If you do that on the right side, you can't push the pillars any farther to the right, so can you interact with the word text?
I don't think that'll help, but let's see. I think they'll just overlap with each other at a certain point, but let's see if that doesn't hold true.
Well, now you put yourself northeast of the word text, and then go down one.
Ah.
Here you go.
Yeah, so if you can't push anything, if you're prodded up or forward against the edge of the level, you can't do something.
Okay, but I need that in a different position so I can actually break it.
Hmm.
I put a pillar on the other side of it. Pushes the pillar.
Melly McAllister says, yeah, before Twitch, let me see the streams for NFTs. Feels bad, man. Did I even see the trailer for, like, what was it, the Lazy Apes? Whatever they're called. They're making a cartoon about it now?
About what?
About the Lazy Apes.
I'm not familiar.
They're turning them into characters.
What are the?
It looks like
It's
the most horrible cartoon. Okay, I broke it.
Yeah. It's the ape-faced NFT things, right? That they're like procedurally generated.
You may have to link me or. Oh, God.
Mhm.
I don't really want to know, but
No,
You don't want to know. Just don't bring it up again.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's just drop that.
Let's pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Too far.
Rick says, congrats, you broke it.
I don't know. It's destruction counts as a variant of done, so this is progress.
Oh. I need to bring it from the other side.
Oh, I love how weird that is.
There we go.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Very nice.
Hidden in the thicket.
Into the thick
You're
of it.
GG.
Into the thick of it.
GG.
Into the thick of it.
Text is not more.
Flag is not more.
What happens if text is more?
Oh boy, I wonder.
Isn't
More
more
that
like
mean it grows every
Yes,
time
it will
moves?
grow.
yeah.
I want to know if that
You
will
want
crash
the-
the game.
Text is more
Yeah.
and more and more and more and more and more and more and more.
Stop and what off this crazy raid.
Fear GG. Okay.
Feels like
Oh.
something you need to make in the level creator now. Just a text is more that then creates more text is mores.
So basically,
Guys,
it's,
thank you for this cursed knowledge,
I have
Rick and
to
friend.
shove GG into that. So
I'm going to find some way to delete the internet now.
flag is also not more. So we need to somehow get through this vine right here, which is defeat, to create flag is win. So we need to push flag up, need to push win is up, and they need to push them all the way over to win, and I cannot pass the vine at all.
right.
Grass is grass, leaf is leaf. Let's see, grass is push, and we can also push leaf. Oh, we can't push leaf when we make the rule to push leaf.
Right.
Push leaf. Push grass. leaf and grass at the feet and not win. I don't know, let's push grass right there, see what happens. Stops. We need to say text sphere so that it can actually text sphere grass and I shove them together. It's sort of working. We need to... If I say leaf is more right there. I don't know what that does for me.
So did you move grass? Yeah, I'm wondering if you need to not move grass all the way to the left. Putting it in some closer position would help.
I didn't put these in such a weird spot. I need to push the leaf out of the way first if I don't even think about it. Then I can get grass out there. The leaf is push.
Oh, I think I have an idea.
What?
You have to put grass underneath where it says flag, and then put leaf underneath the fourth column. That way, when you do grasses more, it doesn't go up through the fourth column, and therefore blocking off flag is win.
You need to put grass underneath flag?
I think so. Either underneath flag or underneath the wall between flag and is. They basically need to go up at the same time, I think.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, put grass in first, and then leaf in the far column.
Well, I can do either of them.
Well, because you can't walk... No. So, no, not that column. Leaf needs to go under the far right column.
So the near column.
Yes, sorry. Words, what are they? We made them up.
Words are things you push around.
That doesn't seem to work.
Nah, you're right. No, yeah, you kind of do need to put grass all the way to the far side, because then it's able to, like, come from the left and push everything across.
I still don't know why I need both of these. One of them is going to factor in some manner. But I don't see why it's necessary yet. So let's put them between the last.
Can you make grass sphere leaves? So you can use the leaf as a buffer?
Not if I wanted to push the text. And if it goes up that way like that, it still traps flag.
So you need to have it all the way to the left.
I like that.
Okay, so we probably do need to like grow leaf somehow in order to give it more control. But where would it go?
I would imagine right under one of the columns, one of the rows. No, they are columns. I was right there. One of the columns, so that when it grows, it pushes things out of the way in a pattern that would be useful to you. That would be my guess.
Okay, let me watch this again.
That is a link.
Okay, so what's happening that's incorrect here? X is going too far up. If I could like get a line of leaf along the top. But there doesn't actually seem to be any way to get in there. You do still have Gigi down here. I can say like leaf here, Gigi.
The wind is blowing away from Gigi.
Make it the leaf goes inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then from right here, when you say leaf more, it creates leaves right there, which I don't really want it to do. I keep thinking that the pattern of the vines is useful somehow, but vines only defeat, so it's not going to stop anything.
Right.
Maybe I just need like leaf right there or something.
You mean where it is?
Well, not exactly where it is.
No.
Because that's not far over enough. Leaf is leaf, so I can't do leaf is GG. Yay. Do something else for your GG. Text view GG, that's not useful.
I'm wondering if you can combine the more function with the fear function somehow. I mean, I don't know if that would help you, but it just occurred to me like
More fear.
I mean, like if you had like an ever
You can never have
expand.
enough beer.
I have been using them together. But
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind.
Oh wait, have we tried to see? This is not pertaining to the solution level, but have we
there
seen
is
what
more.
text? Have we seen what text is more does?
No.
Huh.
Yeah,
That could
text
be-
is not more, so.
Oh, okay, I see. Right.
Programmer is smart.
Yeah. Well, level designer. Excuse you.
Fine.
Well,
You're burned.
Fine.
I'm also a game programmer. And
Yeah,
a level
well-
designer. Therefore, I'm a technical designer.
Yeah, well, how do you design games when you just got wings, and claws, and shit? Okay. All right.
My wings. If you see my Twitter today, my wings do not have claws. I want to thank you very much for never mentioning that again. I made a hot take today that I was saying the bird anthros that have like scaly claws for arms.
Yeah.
Terrible. Absolutely awful. Worst character design. That scaly material does not belong above the knees on an anthro bird.
Well, now it's just like the how do they put the pants on the dog argument.
I mean, kind of, right? It's just like they're, people try to relegate. They're just like, okay, how the hell do we deal with the bird anthro that now has like a full arm and digits and stuff? It's like, well, it's probably like their other limb that has, a hinge and wrist and digits in it. And I say, no. Give me bird feather wings or feather fingers.
I'm agnostic. I'll
Okay,
just draw.
the only thing I can think of that these things can do in conjunction is that first I have the grass push the text, and then I have the leaf push the text.
Okay.
Yeah. It might be, you have to like grow it for a certain amount of time and then break it and grow the other one.
That's as far as that gets. And I can't walk onto the grass anymore. That's the problem. Whatever I do there, the leaf needs to be in place first. And I could just say grass fear GG. Then it would run away from me, so maybe that doesn't matter.
Ray says bad takes matter.
Yeah, well, Ray can suck it.
Oh no!
Oh.
That's fired.
Baxter's on my side. Ty's on my side.
Miller is drawing the battle lines tonight. This is the hill on which he will die.
Look, I saw a Twitter post that was like, hey, give me your hot takes on birds. And I'm just like, I got a freaking inferno of a take.
He's going all inferno on us. Who knew?
Just for that, Miller, I'm going to draw your character with like all hands, all.
I
Because
paid you money to do that. You better not, mister.
I'm even gonna like put one like coming out of the neck, Just,
How dare you? Is this the professional attitude you take towards your customers? Shame. Shame on you.
I'm gonna take my business elsewhere. I'll be reporting it to the BBB. Oh my god.
I clearly told him to not use scaly hands, and he put scaly hands on my character. How dare he?
Here, I'm drawing it right now. Hang on.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know the leaf is misplaced. I still don't know where to put the leaf.
Yeah, I'm lost on this one. It feels like, yeah, you have to like grow them from both sides in such a way that they channel flag is in just the right way. But I have no idea how
You
you
know,
would do that.
that is sort of the vibe I'm getting here too. You're supposed to grow the grass somehow. Frick.
What?
I was gonna say push grasses more.
Not yet. I've been doing that.
Okay.
Here, Miller, I'm posting this in the Discord.
Uh
I
oh.
swear to God, if I look over and I see something I'm not happy with.
I'd be concerned if you were. There, that's you. It's canon. Copyright 2021.
Serious?
You just have to like use a sock puppet to talk now.
Yeah, just do hand puppets to make one thing. And Joe's never seen it again. Yeah, no, this is what happens if you take off a bird furry's head at a con. Is that's just what's underneath?
That would be
It's just a hand sticking out of the neck.
I'm far too amused by this. Simon says bird anthers should look like that biblical description of cherubim.
Oh God, no. It's all scales all the time. Now, you kind of loop back around on it when you get to stuff like a Quetzalcoatl, which is just like a snake with bird wings. That one's fine.
I'm gonna put this masterpiece on Twitter.
Which, now that I'm thinking about it, Quetzalcoatls are probably just somebody watching a hawk carry a snake away, and they thought it was one creature.
Let's wait.
Oh, God. Quetzalcoatl are cool looking. Quetzalcoatls are cool looking.
There's in San Jose. I don't know if it's probably still there. There's a Quetzalcoatl sculpture, made out of some kind of like I don't know if it's metal or stone, but it's kind of like dark in color, and it's like I remember this because I'd see it all the time near my apartment. It's sort of like coiled, like it's kind of coiled in sort of a bundle, like the way a ball python does, but if you look at it from far away on like a sunny day, it just looks like a big iron shit. Like, let me run a picture. Hang on. Like, it really, honestly looks like someone dropped a deuce. Here it is. Hang on. You'll see what I mean.
I was trying to look, if I remembered correctly, that there were Quetzalcoatls in My Little Pony Gen 4, but nope, that was a fanfic comic that I read that had them. I just remember them looking so good.
I mean, look at that. Number that doesn't look like a. If you were looking at that from like 300 yards away, that wouldn't look like a big iron shit.
Big iron, big iron. He came into town and dropped trout. He gave a big iron shit.
Jonas.
Actually, my sense of humor is like in like 9th grade mode today.
Today.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't be lying when I say that'd be true. That's the immaturity that goes through us all these days.
Yeah. Kind of happens after you've been cooped up for like 20 months.
No, I mean, we all laughed at Scary Movie, and I had to say, oh man, I can't stop laughing at Scary Movie. One of my favorites. And that was an immature movie, but I loved it. Oh man. Oh yeah, how about those fart jokes?
I'm trying to think of a comeback.
How about them? Ain't they just smelly?
Yeah, they stink. Have I seen a scary house? I have, actually. Houses are meant to be scary, because you don't know what's in them, and when you look at it from the outside, it's like, oh boy.
What are we talking about now?
Tig EC says, have you seen a scary house? And yeah.
Wait, what was this level called again, Rick? It was the thicket?
Hidden in the thicket.
Hidden in the thicket. Okay.
Okay, so you can just sort of like grow leaf right here. Maybe that's what I just need to do. But I need more than that, so do I need more than that? Where did that go? I just need to push it one more. So if you go GG.
Oh wow. No, this I'm looking at the solution for this. This is some bonsai level of like little growth, little snip, little growth, little snip, little growth, little snip.
Down.
Huh.
What?
You do need to grow both the leaf and the grass, but you're not going to be growing them from both ends. The fact that the tile above win is open is not useful. You're only going to use the bottom of the columns.
Are you sure? Because this looks like it will do it correctly.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at a
I'm
solution.
pretty sure that it's not going to work, but I want to see what happens.
Oh yeah. Experimentation always supersedes just getting the answer.
And leaf needs to be stopped. Still pushes the words together.
The grass.
And then I can't get down fast anyway.
Yeah, so one of the important parts of this that I'm seeing is that you're able to both grow and prune the grass and leaves.
But what do you mean prune?
Let me think how
Because if
specific
I
I want to
say
get.
fear, it technically reduces the number of apparent objects on the screen. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah?
And I have no idea how that works operating from the bottom here, because it doesn't seem like it will do anything.
Well, like I said, if you're not really using that top part near where it says win, or that like window where it says win, you still do need to use both the leaf and the grass. So they're each going to do two distinct jobs, but just in that little bottom.
Yeah, I figured that out like a zillion years ago. I still don't know what it is.
Well, you've got two tools and you've got two words you need to move. Yeah, Blazer, this is a particularly perturbing puzzle.
Too bad.
Be honest, I can hear you.
What?
I can hear you
Hear me doing what?
playing video games. Well, I'm
I'm
playing
not-
video games.
Silence is deafening.
What? No, I was chatting, but
Yeah, no, that was. Yeah, I didn't hear video games. I heard your phone vibrating.
my phone. Shit, did it?
That's
go
what it
off?
sounded like. I just heard like.
Slow. I should definitely charge it. The battery's like losing its. Now I'm wondering what the hell you heard. Did something vibrate in my office space?
I don't know.
Let's see. I mean, it's entirely possible.
I wonder if you put a leaf next to Win and Win is afraid of leaf, will that push it past the bushes? Because if you can push Flag and Is out with the leaves and to the far right.
You don't want to push Flag and Is out. You need to push them into the word win.
Right, but can Win be pushed outside of the...
No.
No. Hedges stop. I can't do anything with hedge. It's right there.
Yeah, and when it is locked into that corner.
Isn't
The
that...
only way we can move it out is if we had like a swap, and there's no swap in this level.
Okay. Because I was thinking about the rock level we did in. I can't remember what the text was. But okay.
Well, let me see that again.
Feels like I need to push Is up first. Let's see here.
No.
All right, where is this audio coming from? Hold on, 1 second. Pretty sure I got the routing right. You guys aren't hearing like the music or anything, are you?
You can hear me.
There's
I
there's
yeah, I
something
think it's
deeper
the
in.
music.
Huh. That shouldn't be whatever. I don't know. I'll check my drivers later. Maybe something crashed. But yeah, I guess my it stopped now, right? You can't hear anymore?
Cannot hear it.
Okay. Now, the way I've got it set up, you shouldn't be able to hear any in my computer audio.
Okay. So the first thing you need to do is you need to use one of the grass or leaves to move flag to the top of the second column divider.
What?
So you see the divider that's between flag and is?
Yes.
You need to move flag to above the north edge of that divider.
That's literally what I did.
Okay, that would be step 1, and then step 2 is to get is to be next to it.
Wouldn't it
And then-
be simpler to put is up there first?
No. Think. No, because you need to control the. If you're using leaves for the left side, you need to control the leaves and like basically count them out exactly so that they push flag to the right just when it's at the top of the hedge dividers and it doesn't go up towards the top row.
Oh.
Oh, that got it.
Ta-da!
Okay.
Oh,
That was rough.
yeah, that was.
Right. Yeah, that's a weird one because it feels like you have to literally count to make sure that the things are growing perfectly when you don't even know what you're trying to exactly go for.
Well done, sir. Well done.
It's a little too precise of a puzzle.
Indeed.
Can't stop Rick.
We're on a roll.
It wasn't that precise. I mean, yes, you do need to count, but it's more the issue that you need to visualize everything happening before you can actually have it happen.
Yeah.
And grow is sort of hard to visualize because it interacts in weird ways sometimes, and you can't account for every single side of it at all
Yeah,
times.
it is literally an exponential function, so it's hard to keep everything in mind.
God. All right. Well, kudos to you, sir, and suppose we will see you all tomorrow night or whatever for more Baba.
Yep.
Possibly only think that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious where they're going to take us next.
Okay. Good
All
night,
right.
everybody. See you
Bye,
next time.
folks.
Have a good night,
Good night.
everybody.